What's up, guys? M.V.K here, back again. Sorry. We are here back again to deliver another theme Q&A for the month of June. June is about to end. I can't believe it. It's about to end so quickly. But yeah, I'm ending the month of June's theme was this man right here. Yes, right. I am wearing my Superman shirt. I actually bought this from MegaCon. So I said I needed another Superman shirt, and I was like, all right, let me get it. So yes, need some more, but definitely looking forward to the new Superman movie. Comes out next month. I am actually I'm going to see a early viewing of the show. I was asked via Fandango. Actually, would you like to see a early viewing of the movie? I was like, yeah. How much do I need to pay? And I paid it. It wasn't very expensive, but it's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. And to all the haters out there about the Superman, I can't with them. But yes, have a good amount of people. I mean, there was a decent amount of people that just delivered questions for the month of June for Superman. Who I consider the godfather of all superpowered heroes. So I'm looking forward to answering your questions. I'm glad to see that people followed the rules as well. Nobody asking the same questions over and over. And keeping it fairly straight to Superman. So I appreciate that too. So we're going to do these questions. We're going to answer these questions via who was the first. And then we're going to move to the last person that answered the questions. And then these are, once again, this is on Patreon. If you'd like to be a part of any of these theme Q&As, please join. It's open for anybody when these theme Q&As. Just become a free member and you can be a part of it. I open it for everybody. The only exclusive stuff are the other things that are exclusive to Patreon. There are some free stuff. I balance it. I try to balance my Patrons. Free stuff and anything behind a paid wall. Just saying. So we're going to start it off with one of my newest patrons, Adam Strangeverse. I like that name. He starts it off and he asks me, where does Superman stand in your overall superhero ranking? Oh, that's a good question. Overall ranking, he is in my top 10. He is up there. He's fairly high. He is very high. I have nothing but respect for Superman. I think a lot of people need to understand, if it wasn't for Superman, there wouldn't be any other superpowered heroes. He was the first. He's the first he's that foundation for everybody. I don't care what company. He's the first. And he deserves the respect. I hate when people go on about, oh, I don't like him because he's a Boy Scout. And I'll quickly ask you, like Captain America? Yeah? What's the difference? You see? You see where I'm going? But he is fairly high. He's up in my top 10. Overall, yes. Number 2. Do you think it's hard to write Superman? No, I don't. I don't think it's hard to write Superman. I think people make it hard, make it seem like it's hard because he's so nearly godlike. But it just takes the right amount of time and effort to think, okay, how do I play with this guy who can do all these things, but does have weaknesses, but also look at it from a human's perspective. That's how I look at it. Like, as much as he is a very godlike being, he still looks at himself as a stranger, a visitor that has adapted to Earth's way of life. He interacts with other heroes that are strong too, but maybe not at his level, but he still reacts and has friendships with people. It's not that hard. It really isn't. If you can write the Silver Surfer, who I've also heard plenty of writers said that's hard. He's hard to write because he's like godlike. But they take that instance of, taking who is Norrin Rad? Where do we go with this character? Where do we go with this former herald of Galactus? They find a way. So yeah, he's not very hard. He's not. Number 3. What's one of your favorite powers of Superman? One of my favorite powers of Superman. I will always say flight. I will always say I think it would be so cool to fly. Like you get to boom, just fly off anywhere. Boom. I want to go visit a buddy of mine in like Illinois, and he said, "What time you gonna be at?" Well, I'm gonna do something real quick, but I'll be there in less than 20 minutes. Okay, I'll see you then. Take off, boom, fly off, no problem. The only thing is, the problem is you just gotta cover up. Depending on the height of the atmosphere, you just gotta cover up and watch for planes and things like that. Like I don't want to crash into planes, But yeah, flight will always be one of my favorite Superman powers. I know somebody would probably say his heat vision, his X-ray vision, his cold breath, or his speed. Technically, he's not faster than the Flash. I don't care what anybody says. Superman is fast, but he ain't faster than the Flash. The Flash holds back. That's right. Next up, your 4th question. How would you feel if Superman couldn't fly and he was just like he can leap at a single bound? If Superman couldn't fly, I would be okay with it. I would be fine with it, because there are characters that, he would somewhat be like look, the Hulk can't fly. He just jumps very far. I'm fine with that. So, yeah, I'll be cool with it. It wouldn't bother me none. Not at all. Thank you, Adam Strainverse, for those questions. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Moving on to Parker Jr. And he asks me, who's your least favorite actor to play Superman? Ooh. Least favorite actor to play Superman. I gotta go Dean Cain. Yeah. I give Dean Cain his credit. He was the first biracial man to play Superman, because a lot of people don't know Dean Cain is half Asian. So yeah, I give him props for that. But overall, I was not a big fan of him as Superman. Sorry about that, guys. I wasn't a big fan of him as Superman. I was around during the Lois and Clark days, and I just didn't care for him too much. Terry Hatcher was cool as Lois, and I wasn't a big fan of the actor who played Lex, because for me, Lex Luthor should not be having hair. I will stand on that. I'd rather see my Lex bald, and I'm not the biggest Lex Luthor fan too much either, because I think he's overexposed. I get he's Superman's arch nemesis, but I don't feel that way. I don't. Okay. I told you got this. You asked the same. Okay, what? No, excuse me, wrong person. Okay, what's one of Superman's? What's one of your least favorite powers of Superman? Whoa, my least favorite power of Superman. I don't know. I really don't have that. I don't really have a least favorite. I think all his powers are cool to what he can do. I don't want to say cold breath, because there are times he uses it properly, so I can't really say. I don't really have a, impenetrable skin, no. Heat vision, no. X-ray vision, no. I really don't have at least. I don't have one. I really don't. I don't have one. I kid you not. Does Superman have one of the best superhero themes? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Superman has one of the most recognizable and great superhero themes. Once you hear that theme, dun, 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 you know who it is. Or even just that intro, that dun, 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 you got it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you know. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Next up comes from Eliza Hughes, and she asks, what is your favorite episode of Superman the Animated Series? One of my favorite episodes of the Superman the Animated Series has got to be when Darkseid had invaded Earth, and I forgot the name of the episode. I think it was called Apocalypse Now Part 3, I believe. It's one of my favorite episodes. It's during a time when Darkseid had invaded Earth. He had Superman held up like almost like crucified, and he came on and he's just like, people of Earth, like, I am Darkseid, all this other stuff, and Michael Ironside, great, and Dan Turpin, the cop, who was basically an homage to Jack Kirby, basically comes off and is just like, he basically is like, yeah, we're not scared of you, and just showing it, and Superman saying, you see Darkseid, they won't quiver, and then they're fighting them, and then after that Superman gets free and starts fighting Darkseid's, the Apocalypse and everything back, and then New Genesis comes down, and Orion comes down, who is Apocalypse, who is a Darkseid's real son, comes down and says, Earth is under our protection now. If you continue your reign trying to conquer Earth, you'll be breaking the treaty between New Genesis and Apocalypse. And so when Darkseid is leaving, they about to leave, Turpin is like, yeah, get out of here, like, and then he said to Superman, savor your victory, but remember, victory has a price. And he shot his Omega Beam and killed Dan Turpin right there, and Superman saw that, and he just like, and you murderer, and he came, and Darkseid disappeared. And I love the anger that Superman showed, because Darkseid left one of his war machines, and he just started, boom, he just started bashing it, and then Orion came up to him and said, I'm sorry. And then at the funeral, it was this one, and it gets me so emotional, because it actually meant something to have Superman said it. He said, goodbye, my friend. He said, in the end, the world didn't need a Superman, just a brave one. And I was like, oh my, that caught me so much. And it still gets me emotional when I even if I just hear it, because sometimes that's all it takes, is just brave men and women to stand up to an opposition. You don't have to be super powered. And at the end, yeah, it did. And on Dan Turpin's grave, it said, the world's greatest, I think it was something like that. That was one of my favorite episodes. I have others, but that one sticks out real quick. So thank you, and I apologize for crying, guys. Like, yeah, that's a very emotional episode for me. So thank you. Thank you, Eliza. Next up, Cyborg asks, best, besides Thanos and Apocalypse, what other Marvel villains would push Superman to his limits? You got a bunch of them. Dormammu. Dormammu would be a serious threat to Superman. We're talking magic. Superman is weak against magic. He is completely weak against magic. Enchantress, Mephisto, Sidorak, There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. And Apocalypse, to me, not so much. Thanos, maybe, but there's a lot. There are a bunch. Who do you consider to be Superman's best friend, Jimmy Olsen or Batman? Jimmy. Because Superman looks at Batman as a brother, not a best friend. He's there. He says it all the time. We're family. We're not friends. What would Perry White and J. Jonah Jameson think of each other? I think Perry would think JJ needs to calm down, especially on his tirade with Spider-Man. I think he'd be like, wait a minute, like, why are you so amped at exposing this guy as some kind of threat when he saved this person? I would like to know what's his story. This, like that. Yeah, he would really contradict a lot of what JJ goes on about. So yes. Next up, Quentin Blake asks, question number 1: who is a better father, Superman or old man Kratos? I'm gonna go Superman. Kratos, I'm not saying Kratos is a bad father, but he didn't get it right the first time. He didn't. He really didn't. Superman, he got it right the first time. Like, Superman was a great father. He's a good father. Nah. How do you feel when Superman? How did you feel when Superman's son came out as bisexual? That didn't bother me at all. What bothered me about Jonathan Kent is the aging him up. Thank you, Bendis, for that. You didn't need to do that. I hated that. Jonathan Kent coming out as bisexual had nothing. It had no malice on me whatsoever, because I enjoyed the character. I'm like, that's the thing now when it comes to certain characters. I may not like the process of with what they have done with certain characters. Like I have spoken very highly on. I wasn't a big fan of what they did with Iceman. Why did Bendis again make him gay? There was no need for that. Just even how they executed it, I hated it. Same thing with Tim Drake. I'm like, why? Where did that come from? I never saw that. There was no signs of it. But I don't hate the character. And that's what I was talking to a couple of people on my Reddit account about some people. I said, like, look, there are people that don't like these characters anymore because they're gay or they're bisexual. And I said, and I told them that's kind of stupid. If you like them you should ride or die with them no matter what, to a degree. And then this guy came back and said to me, well, no, they just don't like them because I said, well, no, I've actually, respectfully, but I've actually had it personally said to me when I've gone to my local comic shop, when I was at comic conventions, I brought it up, and they personally said it to me. Personally, like, yeah, they don't like, they think and I don't like the character no more. For me, Iceman being gay doesn't change how much I love Bobby Drake. Tim Drake doesn't change anything about it. He's still, to me, the best Robin. Fight me on that. Go ahead, I don't care. He is the best Robin. So, yes, nothing has changed. Jonathan Kent, him being bisexual has changed nothing from my love and care for him. Why should it? Why should it? And your third question. What would Roy Mustang think of Superman? I don't know. I really wouldn't put Superman in the Full Metal Alchemist universe, but I think he would be cool, or they probably would think he's some new homunculus. I don't know what to think. It'd just be kind of crazy. Number 4, could Superman beat Ashura from Ashura's Wrath? Ashura is, I guess he's a god in that world, maybe, depending. He's done some, Ashura somewhat died and came back, so it's 50-50. There we go. Thank you, Quentin, for those questions. Move on to the Yin and Yang lad. Asks me, what would Superman think of All Might? He would think All Might is cool. He'd give All Might a lot of respect, and even respect him more because of the fact that he's passing on his teachings to the next generation. So yeah, he would care. Great. What Superman villain do you constantly want in the films? Brainiac. God damn it, I want Brainiac so badly. I'm not saying that I'm kind of tired of Lex. We have had Lex Luthor constantly in all the films. Over and over. It's always Lex. Lex. If it's not Lex, who is it? Zod. Brainiac is just as good and even better, in my opinion, than both of them. Let's get a Brainiac in there. Come on. If Superman wasn't a reporter, what do you think he would have been? If Superman wasn't a reporter, what do you think he would have been? What would have been a suitable job for him? Maybe a police officer, somewhere where he could still stay close to headlines of like what's going on in the world. I'm not saying he would have been a cab driver. I mean, but he would have a job where he still could stay close to what's going on in the world. He needs that. That's the one thing. But I can't really see Clark not being a reporter. I don't know. He would probably still, even if he wasn't a reporter with a local newspaper, he'd probably still be like a vlogger or something like that. Just something to inform people. So, yeah. Your next question: What if Superman married Lana Lang instead of Lois? That would be interesting. Because Lana was his childhood sweetheart. Yeah, and I believe she was the first one to know about his powers. I remember correctly. Yes. I wouldn't have mind. I wouldn't have mind at all. Superman and Lana. Clark and Lana, I think could have worked. It would have worked. Thank you, Yin and Yang lad, for those questions. Move on to Son of Light VX, and asks me, who's your favorite voice actor of Superman? Tim Daly. I have respect for Mr. Newberg, who has voiced him since Justice League, but something about Tim Daly just resonates more with me with Superman. Like, it's not too deep, it's not too high pitched or monotone. It's just right, and it just sounds more like what I would want from Superman. That's just me. Number 2, Connor or Jonathan Kent? I like Jonathan because Jonathan is more of his biological son, technically. But I'm always a Connor dude. I've always loved Connor. Yes, he is a biological clone. He's got Superman and Lex in him. But I've always been a fan of Connor. I always have. Next question. Who's your favorite Superman villain? Brainiac. I go on about. I can talk. Brainiac is my number 1. Parasite is my number 2. I love Brainiac. I want Brainiac so much. I want this character so much, damn it. And hopefully if this Superman does well and there's a sequel, please put Brainiac in this. I'm begging y'all. Like, I'm begging Brainiac. I want Brainiac so badly. And that's all your questions. Next up, we move on to Kira Shahan. She asks me, if Superman evaluated Gladiator, Blue Marvel, the Plutonian, Sentry, Hyperion, etc., what would his evaluation be? Oh my God, that's a good question. Okay, let's start off with Gladiator. I think he'd understand where Gladiator's coming from to a point. Like, he's a guardian and he's the strongest of his people. and he is all about protecting whoever is on the throne of Shi'ar. But I think also he would also be like, well, you're too much of a soldier too. Like you got to have a mind of your own too. I think Superman would really contemplate that. Like, what if like he would probably say, what if whoever's on who's on the throne of Shi'ar at the time, what if they told you to eliminate innocent people just to make room for a new reign of Shi'ar Empire? Would you do it? When these people are just telling you, we're no threat to you. Right there. I think that would be the biggest thing. Superman would be like, would you do it? That's where he would definitely question Gladiator. Blue Marvel, he would have tons of respect for Adam. I think he would look at her like, wow, you are brains, you have power, you have brains, you have the respect. But I also think he would also would stand by him, but also feel like, in a sense, like, also show him so much respect because of, think about it, Blue Marvel could have easily turned a blind eye. He could have easily went the route of Injustice Superman. He could have said, oh, y'all don't like me because I'm black? I'm a black Superman? Oh, fine, okay. I'm a rule all of y'all now. And there's nothing you could do about it. He could have easily done that, but he didn't. Adam didn't do that. So I think Superman would find solidarity in Blue Marvel. The Plutonian, he'd fuck him up real quick. He'd be like, I fucking hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Because not only would he would see himself, he would just be angry because he would not do that. Sentry, I think Clark would have sympathy for him, sympathy for Bob in a sense, because he is fighting demons. He's fighting them himself, and things like that. But he would realize, be like, look, you got to deal with this. You have to overcome it. But if you can't, I'm willing to eliminate you as a threat if I need to. He would have sympathy for him, yeah. As for Hyperion, it depends on the Hyperion. Hyperion, because there are different versions. There's the evil version, and he would be like, fuck you. But then there's a one that's similar to him was more like a very the one that was really close to Thor. He would cool with. So yeah, those are definitely he would evaluate some with a lot of respect, but a lot of them he would question also, because he would see himself as, because he is, they are like Superman characters. So he would like, I don't like what you're doing. Plutonian, I don't like what you're doing. I don't know if you didn't put him, but yeah, I'll throw Homelander in there. He would legit fuck Homelander up. He'd be like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, no. I even would throw in Omni-Man. He would hate Omni-Man. He would hate him in the beginning. Like, no, because again, he's gonna see himself through these guys and be like, no, I can't be this way. So yes, that's how it is. Yes, indeed. Your next question, Kira. Did you like the Superman Wonder Woman dynamic? I think it was just for force. I don't care. I like Superman and Superman. I love Superman and Diana as close friends. I don't want them as lovers. I understand why they did it. Because they're somewhat on the same level. That's not always a good match. Sometimes it is true about opposites attract. I had people tell me it worked. It was like, oh, but what if they have a child together? She would probably be able to withstand the birth. I'm like, I don't care about that. I literally had somebody say that to me on social media. I was like, when I said I didn't care about this relationship, I'm like, I don't care if they have a kid together. Yeah, would it be cool? Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, this was forced. This just felt like, let's just get it over with. it was poor. It was stupid to me. I hated it. I legit hated it. I hated it. I was like, they're better as friends. They're just close friends. I can see more of a brother-sister relationship than anything, not lovers. Your next question is, do you feel you're the only person who likes Superman with his energy powers? Yeah, sometimes I do. I don't think there are a lot of people that like Superman when he came back, and he came back with his energy powers. I liked him like that. I really did. I liked Superman. It was interesting because I was like, wow, okay, he's got energy powers now. He's not, and when he reverts back into Clark, he's just as mortal as anybody else. So I thought that was an interesting take, but people just hated it, and I was just like, well, I guess I'm the only one that enjoyed it. I'm fine. I'm fine being a loner on that. So if you enjoyed Superman with the energy powers, thanks. But I always felt like I was the only person that loved it. I'm just saying. And your last question is, I've heard you many times in past videos say you laughed when Superman died during with Doomsday. Yeah, I did laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm serious, guys. I laughed. I chuckled. I was like, yo, he dead? Like, cause it wasn't more like I'm laughing because I hated Superman. I'm laughing because it's like, holy shit, they actually killed him off. I was like, they actually killed him off, but they didn't. I knew they weren't going to keep him dead, but it was just like, it was laugh like, what, it's just like that. So yeah, I did laugh. It was just what it was. Thank you, Kira, for the questions. We move on to Jalen Bullseye Collins, and he asks us one question: if Superman if you changed Superman's original costume colors, what would it be? You know what? If they said we were going to change Superman's colors from red, blue, yellow, red, all that, I would probably go with his costume. I love this costume from Superman Lost. He had red and white and gold. I like that. I was like, oh, that's pretty. He looked really cool in it too. So red, gold, and white would be his color if I did. That's just me. And last but not least, Christian Barnes asks me, the last question he asks me, Val Zod, the Val Zod film, do you feel it's right or a no-go? It's not wrong, and it's, for me, would I like to see Val Zod live action? Yes. Is it needed right now? No, it's not. I don't think right now they need to establish this new universe right now before just jumping into multiverses. But if they want to do a Val Zod and it's an Elseworld story, that's fine. But I'm not sure if they still want to go with it. I don't know. I think it's still, they still want Michael B. Jordan. And the problem with that is I love Michael B. Jordan, but I just don't want him attached to everything, or every comic character that happens to be black, to be used for him, to be like that pinnacle. Like, would it be cool for him to be in that category as being an actor that's worked both? Yeah, I would, because there have been actors that have worked both Marvel and DC. Yes, that would be cool, but I just wanted, if anything, you could do Val Zod, but he can be introduced in a Superman movie or something like that. We see, okay, this is an alternate universe, and he's the Superman because Kal died or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I would go. But is it still a no-go for me? No, it's not. I'm all for it, but I don't think it's right now. truthfully, what's your real feelings on Superman? Do you hate him or like him? I'm sure you probably missed the question, Christian, on this, but no, I don't hate Superman at all. I actually do like him. I respect what he stands for. I respect what he is about. I love the whole concept of why he was sent away. You know, because again, it's always been stated that there was room for another person in his rocket. And Jor-El even asked Laura, he even said to her, like, go with him. But she didn't. She stayed with her. And I respected the House of El by having faith in Clark being raised by two great people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people who raised him right. They raised him with respect and dignity. You know, told him how to respect his powers, but never overexert it to the point where he's looked at as an overlord. That's why Injustice Superman pisses me off so much. I can't, I don't like that. Because even if what happened to him, he would never turn like that. So just like that. No, he wouldn't. So I do love him. I have love for Superman. I have love for him. And speaking of the devil, your feelings on Injustice Superman, like I just said it. I don't have love for I hate Injustice Superman. I hate him. I hate that character. Is it a good story? Yeah, it was interesting, but still, then it got oversaturated because then everybody wanted to do the evil Superman trope, and I was hating it. But still, I hated it because I'm like, it don't make fucking sense to me. Yes, he would be upset with what the Joker did and him causing the death of, yes, but at the same time, he would never go to, because right there, he's going to be like, even his parents would be like, we didn't teach you to be we didn't teach you to hate and be vengeful like that. No. His human parents. No, he wouldn't. He would not lose focus of himself. And I hate that. And that's why I do not like Injustice Superman. I don't. If he was raised in a different area where, like, maybe hate was just, then I would understand it better. But because he wasn't, no, I will not accept it. I love Tom Taylor as a writer, but it's just like, that was just pissing me off. Over time, I'm just like, it don't make no fucking sense. It don't make no fucking sense. And the fact that he was able to twist some of his best friends, his most trusted friends, to joining him pissed me off even more. So yes, I hated that. I hated Injustice Superman. And last but not least, the last question: do you feel this new Superman movie will be a hit? And how do you feel about the new actor as Superman? So far, in terms of, I'll speak on David, Mr. Corin Sweat. I believe I'm saying his name right. He's the tallest actor to play Superman. I think he's 6'5", 6'4". He's tall. Superman has always been classified as being 6'2", but he's the tallest. And I'm hoping he will do good. And then some of the scenes that I've seen, I think he's got the right niche for Superman. Like, I loved when he was speaking to Lois, and I love that emotion that was coming out there, because that's Superman. Like, you know, she was like, you didn't, and he's like, people were going to die. Like, I needed to, yeah, like, yes, that's Superman. And I just recently seen another image of where he goes right up to Luthor, and I guess he's talking about Krypto. Superman, I guess Lex took Krypto or whatever, and he's like, where's the dog? Like, I'm like, he's a dog lover, so I'm like, all right, cool. I like that. As for the movie, I think it's going to do great. I think the people that are hating it and are probably gonna review bomb, keyword review bomb. We've been seeing that lately with another hero as of late, right? Review bomb it are these nutty hugger Snyderverse fans that can't get over the fact that that universe is dead. You want to view it some more? Go back and watch the movies. Reminisce. Good. You can still watch them. But at the end of the day, the Snyderverse is dead. Get over it. I'm sick and tired of, they just want it to fail. These people just want that movie to fail because they can't get their way. And I hate it. I hate it. But as for me, I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. I can't wait to see that movie. I will be there July 8th, because that's when the advanced viewing is going to be shown to watch that movie. I cannot wait. And when I come back, guys, you will see my review. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Well, guys, that is all the questions. I want to thank everybody for participating in the questions. I believe next month, July, I will be dropping, I think, Jurassic Park questions. I'm looking forward to seeing people come out for that. Jurassic Park. And I'm doing that, I guess, because of Jurassic Park's coming out that year. It was a toss-up. I did the Two-Face heads. June was going to be Jurassic Park. Tails. And Tails would have been July for Superman. But then it landed on no, excuse me. June would have been, July would have been, and June, yeah, what I just said. I'm getting confused already. But it landed wrong, and I had to, so June was Superman, July will be, the theme for July will be Jurassic Park. Yeah. Anyway, you guys take care. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I answered your question to the best of my abilities. I'd love to hear what you guys can answer these questions yourself in the comment section down below. I look forward to hearing it, guys. But with that being said, you guys take care. I'll see you soon.